What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing tonight? This is Danny. This is Hero. I'm going to be hosting tonight from the Nomad account because our very own Brandy is not feeling well. And yeah, we'll hope that she feels better soon. So, um, welcome, everybody. We've got a fun night. There's some artists that are going to be coming up on stage tonight. We have a giveaway. We've got some more info about the gallery. Um, I'm excited. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite some of the artists up to start, and then we're going to kick things off. So let's bring 3 Min X, Jesse Doyle, Grondin. Um, and I know there are a couple of others that signed up to be up here tonight. So, Jesse, 3 Min X, Grondin, how's it going? You want to say a quick hello? What's going on on your side of the world?
Doing well, doing well. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm on my headphones right now.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. It's coming
Awesome.
in. Yeah, it's like a podcast.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's what we're here for.
Nice.
Hey,
doing doing well, just doodling. I'm glad to be here, and it's been a quiet couple weeks, so ready to get back into it and put some late nights in and make some art in the meantime. So, yeah, hope everyone's well.
Amazing. Thanks for being here. Grondin, you want to say hi?
hey, hello. I saw Jesse change his profile pic, and I can't get away from my Wes Henry, so I'll keep this one for this time.
Yeah, that's sick.
I'm checking it out right now. Yeah, this reminds me of like a combination of a couple of Wes's styles. Um, there's a little bit of that like abstract face that he does, and then that there are also like the that animal series that he's done, like the owl and a couple of the others. I feel like it's kind of a combination of those two. Very cool. And let's bring up Mufasa as well. 3 Min X, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing really well. I wanted to actually start with you tonight and then go to Mufasa, who I know can't stay the entire time. But I wanted to start with you because I know that tonight we're going to be doing a 3 Min X giveaway. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. So can we go ahead and pin that up at the top?
Sure. How do I do that?
So let me see if I can do that really quickly because I have it right here.
Okay.
Okay. So Brandy would be very impressed with me right now. All right, so I think I just shared it. Can everyone see the pin tweet on the top?
I can see it.
All right, great. So first thing is, can you tell us about this piece of art first before we talk about the giveaway?
So about this piece, this is my second piece back on 2021 when I started doing this type of portraits. And I never minted it. I don't know why. Maybe because I knew it was some things that I could change. And yeah, I don't know. I like putting adding nature into my drawings. So yeah.
Let me ask you something. Like I'm zoomed in right now, right? So for example, over the eyebrow and the eyes, are you freehanding those eyes and those eyebrows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah. I'm getting
Unreal.
better though.
So everyone, take a look at this. Go ahead and share this. Like this. Give this post some love so that we can bring some more attention to 3 Min's work, and we are going to give away one of these pieces tonight. So we'll probably have this. We'll probably do this like at the end of the hour. So yeah, that would be awesome.
Um,
Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
I don't see it pinned at the top. Am I the only one?
I see it pinned.
I don't see it either.
No, I don't see a pin either.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
That's weird.
Maybe I'm
That's super
being
weird.
rugged. That's like a pre-rug.
And Porky also texted me and said that he's not seeing it either. This is super weird.
Yeah.
All right, let me just try pinning it again. All right, let's see if that works. All right, now I see it up there twice.
Yeah, I see it too.
All right, so it's not just me.
Still nothing.
All right, well let's
Damn.
give this a minute. Hopefully it'll refresh. Everyone, do me a favor. My usual request before we start the spaces. Go to the bottom right hand corner, click on the plus button. Go ahead and share the space, and then we'll kick things off. Before I do a quick gallery update, I do want to remind everyone that these Tuesday nights we're going to start dedicating a meaningful amount of the time to starting to get to know the artists of the Nomad community a little bit better, to hear about some of the work that they're working on right now, to take a look at some of their newest pieces, and then we're going to be buying art for our gallery as the weeks go on. So we did this last week. We had some great people come up here and talk about some of the work that they were doing. We're going to keep doing that each week. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a reminder of what we're doing. So there are already people that we've scheduled to come up here tonight. If we have time at the end, we'll invite you up as well. If not, definitely DM us and get in touch for next week. Quick gallery update. So we are in construction right now, which means we're taking down walls and glass panels, wood panels. We're repainting. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. After we get through that, we are going to be setting up the digital canvases and setting up the gallery. We're starting to talk to people in the art scene in LA to talk about, the best way to do this. Really excited. We've also started to purchase some of the kind of antique and very nomad-esque furniture and stuff that's going to go in the gallery. So it's all happening. On Friday, we're meeting with some video content people that are going to start taking some footage of the whole thing in action. So we'll be able to do like a couple of different time lapse videos to kind of bring everyone along on the journey with us. So stay tuned for that. And really excited. We're looking at this all kind of being done and ready to go in the next month or so. And then we're looking to have our gallery opening on June 2nd, Thursday, June 2nd. We may do like a media night the night before, but June 2nd, mark your calendars. This is going to be, a private event. Nomad holders and people in the art community in Los Angeles and, friends. And it's going to be great. And that's going to be the beginning of a lot more. So that is my update. And let's go to Mufasa. So Mufasa, a couple of things tonight. So one, I want to talk about, I'd love you to pin kind of, something that you're working on tonight. So we can take a look at that and, walk us through the piece. But two, I want to talk about that private conversation we were having offline about, going big. And I thought it'd be a good conversation to have with people in the room tonight. So first of all, how are you? Welcome to the stage.
Thank you, brother. I'm feeling blessed right now. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm so hyped that you guys having spaces again. I've been missing them out. I've been missing them for a minute now, so I'm really glad they're back. But yeah, it feels good.
We were doing them like remember we were doing a space for like 5 hours at a time. And I don't know if it's just because it was during that, just getting closer and closer and closer to the project being open for sale. And I know there was like a lot of stuff to hype around and there were a lot of details and we we're really excited, but I also think that it was just a different time in the space, I think it was kind of like the last, just that last big wave that kind of carried into the beginning of this year. And now I feel like there's like a different rhythm and flow to the space now. Um, Luther and Senator Greaves, I'd love you to come up here later tonight too to talk about the project you're working on. It feels like people are really starting to take big swings and extend themselves outside of their comfort zones. I feel like I've noticed artists and people in the community networking a lot more and trying to figure out collaboration, supporting each other. I see the tweets and the retweets and the comments, and definitely a lot of that support that we saw in the early days is still happening, but it just feels like a different rhythm, and that's cool. We just got to navigate it together. So Mufasa, go ahead and do you have something that you want to pin to the top?
Do you want something I'm working on right now, or like a whip, or something I just finished?
Let's see something that you've just finished.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Cool. And also, we have space on the stage, so if anyone wants to come up here and kind of have a conversation with the artists that we're featuring tonight, feel free to come up here. I'm going to just invite a couple of people that. Oh, Davey. All right, let's get Davey up here. Yeah, if anyone else wants to come up here and hang out with us, let's clubhouse this a little bit. Davey, what's going on?
What's up? How's it going?
Good. We're all expecting a story before the end of the night.
I've been brainstorming like what's a good one. I'm racking my brain, so I'm gonna try to like not play all the big ones right away.
All right, cool. Well, think about it. Also, just a quick note: I know some new people have entered the room. If you could please share the space, bottom right-hand corner, blue plus button. That would be great. Get a few more people in here, and all right. So Mufasa, were you able to pin anything?
I almost found the tweet. I'm just trying to. My phone keeps freaking lagging every 5 seconds. So I'm trying
Okay,
to.
and
I
also,
almost got it. Almost got it.
Yeah, take your time. Also, can everyone see the 3-min X one that I pinned? Is that all there now?
No,
I've been
I
hearing.
still can't see it.
Yeah, all day I've been hearing that the pins aren't working.
Really?
I see it.
It won't let me pin.
That sounded like a good conversation, whatever it was. I was like trying to listen really closely to see if I could hear what was going on. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete these pinned tweets. 3-min
I still
X.
don't see them, by the way.
Say that again.
I still don't see this pin tweets, and it won't even let me pin anything either. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, fail on Twitter. All right, so let's try this. 3-min X, can you try pinning that tweet again of the piece that you're giving away tonight, just to see if you pinning it does anything?
I'll try. Hold on.
Okay, and Mufasa, why don't you go ahead and DM me the post, and I'll see if I can do it.
Gotcha.
I bet you the fact that Wes Henry's not here, it has to do something with that.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to message Wes Henry right now.
Danny, do you think if they just like tweeted to the Nomad Blvd like page, would that work at all, or I don't know?
You mean like adding Nomad Blvd and then everyone kind of knows where to go, and then
or
the Nomad
if they
Blvd
like tweeted, I don't know, if they like tweeted and included the at Nomad Blvd, if that would do anything, and then that way we could see it.
Why don't we try that? That's not a bad idea. Let's try that. And also, Punk is in the room, and I know he knows. He knows all the tricks. So let's see if he can come up here and help us out. Let's see. So weird that that's not working.
Hero, if you keep me up late enough, me and Wes can get into one of those wild little benders,
That is true.
I'm feeling groovy.
All right, well, let's see if we can get him in here. Hang on one sec. I know he's up. We all know he's up.
I feel like Wes wakes up around now.
I have no idea how to share that.
All right, so Punk, you're on stage. We're having trouble pinning stuff. Any words from the wise?
Yeah, just go to the tweet and press the 3 buttons. What are you trying to pin right now?
You make it sound very easy. So we're trying to pin a 3min X tweet, and then Mufasa's also trying to pin one of his. So why don't we try this? 3min X, Mufasa, can you DM Punk the link and see if Punk can do it?
On my way.
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's not letting me actually post anything to the top either. I think the option's just gone. I think you broke the internet, Danny.
I definitely don't think it was me.
Let's move this to Skype.
Maybe it's because I'm doing a giveaway.
Say that again?
Maybe it's because I'm doing a giveaway.
Huh. Here, let me try doing this. Let me try, let me try doing something else. Hold on. I'm going to pin this and see if that works.
It's not even giving me the option on any tweet, though.
It's giving me the option, and then, like, I just pinned a tweet, and I can see it right now. Does everyone see that?
Nope, I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see shit.
Nope, can't see it.
I was just about to take a screenshot and then tweet it and then pin it, but you probably wouldn't be able to see that either. All right, we're getting green.
see it now.
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think it's because it has the word giveaway in it?
No, I can't post any of my tweets. Like I've tried other people's on my own.
I feel like that one scene in Zoolander where they're like hitting the computer. They're like, the files are inside the computer.
Hey, hero.
Oh,
I think Twitter took that option down today. I've heard this in several places.
What option?
Pinning tweets. I've been in several spaces today, and they brought that up. I don't know if it's a permanent change, but yeah, that's part of the new way.
And was there? Did anyone have like a reason or know why they would do that?
Not that I heard.
Or is it hosts only so you can post the thing?
That is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. All right, because it's already 8:20, and I wanna start checking out some artwork. Why don't you DM at Nomad Blvd with the link? I'm gonna try to pin it. If we can't see it, then I'm gonna tweet it from the Nomad Blvd account, and we'll just go and look at the tweet and then talk about it. Right?
That sounds like a plan.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
All right. And Wes said he's going to be here in 30. I'm going to say we're saving the best for now. See you later.
All right. Can you try making me co-host and see if I can post that way?
That is a great idea. All right, let's see if that works. All right, I'm going to bring Mufasa back up.
Negative Ghost Rider.
What is going on? All right, well, this really throws a wrench in all of us looking at art from the community together. That really is not, that's really not working for me. So, yeah, I think what we're going to do is this. So everyone who has been invited up tonight who is going to be sharing their artwork, go ahead, send me a link to the artwork. So if you don't have a link to it, go ahead and post a tweet and then send it to me. I'm going to try to I'm going to try to pin it from my account. Maybe it's just the host that can do it. And if not, I'm going to tweet it from @Nomad Blvd, and we'll kind of direct everyone to go there. We'll take a look at it, and then we can just go about it. I definitely want, let me actually read the list of artists that are going to be presenting tonight. So Mufasa, we'll start with you. Jesse Doyle next. Punk next. Grondin next. Broken Mechanic. We definitely need to talk about everything that Broken Mechanic has been doing. And then we'll do the 3-man X giveaway. So that's the schedule. Mufasa, you're up first. Are you back up on stage, Mufasa? Yes. All right. So Mufasa, you there?
What is it? Run so hard in my life. Oh my God. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So go ahead and send me a link to the piece of art that you're going to be talking about. And I'll go ahead and try to pin it. And if not, I'll tweet it and we'll all look at it together.
Gotcha.
All right, cool.
Copy. Okay, I just sent it.
Okay, please hold. Did you send it to Nomad or Hero?
Hero.
Okay,
should I send it to Nomad?
No, it's okay. I can switch over. All right, let's see if we can do this. Oh, I love this piece. Hold on. All right, it's pinned. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to retweet this. So if everyone just goes to, well, first of all, can everyone see this pinned yet or no? I see it.
Sadly, no, I can't see it.
Maybe
No,
give it a couple
Still don't
seconds.
see it.
I do see it.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Nothing for me.
This is crazy.
It
All right,
just
well,
showed up
look,
for me now.
either way, go to my go to Hero's Twitter account, look at my most recent retweet, and you'll see it. It's called Surprise Drop. Been working on these pieces for a while. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Duality and Blackout. So these are amazing, and I love the texture of the digital paper behind it. Mufasa, talk to us about this.
Oh, sorry. That texture was actually like Wes's idea, and I did not expect it to look that good because I put everything on a black background.
Yep.
But after seeing that, it just changed like the vibe of the piece, the texture. It makes it look more 3D, and I was like, damn, this looks so dope. So I'm gonna start incorporating that more into my pieces. But yeah. Sorry, were you saying something?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, it adds so much texture. It does make it look 3D, and also the thickness of the black line around the side on the left really makes it pop.
Yeah. I would try to, and it's so much. There's so much experimenting that goes on with these kind of pieces. Like it's my favorite. It takes time, but it pays off because it just, I don't know. There's something about it. It just looks so good. And most of the time with my pieces, I'm like, wait, how did I do that? And I just don't know how to do it again. So they like makes them more unique, I guess. But yeah, I was trying to learn some new techniques with cartoons and characters like I usually do with doodles and stuff. And I started to add, like, I started using more brushes finally and understanding how those work. And it started to create these even doper freaking characters. So I was like, okay, I'm getting somewhere with this. And yeah, I don't know. I love the split stuff for me. I don't know. There's some split. I put that in all my art now. I'm adding way more like split, like I guess like personality or whatever, two sides of a coin. I don't know.
And so, what are you? I mean, super cool. What are you doing in terms of getting the word out there about the art that you're doing? Are you reaching out to individual people? Are you relying on traction from posts? Are you going into Twitter Spaces and trying to shill your work, or at least how are you bringing awareness?
I think I'm doing the first two. The first two is definitely something I'm doing. The third is something I have been lacking on, which I know I should be doing because that's, from everyone else I'm talking to in the space, that's like the key to making like more success. Yeah, so I would usually individually text like my collectors who are like avid people who love my art. So usually they're the ones who like want to buy those pieces. So it works out for me, in that kind of way. But it's still not providing that much traction as I want. So spaces are definitely something I want to do, which is why I started to do my own spaces. But I know jumping into like other spaces that like have people I never met before is a way better idea. Um, I tried making Discord, but that Discord for me is not that great right now. Honestly, it's not doing that great. But I'm building a new community through that, which is called the Lions Den, um, and that's I'm bringing more artists together and collectors and trying to create like this big like my own kind of space. But spaces are the key for sure.
So, so obviously, there are a million discords, right? So it's hard to like up with 50 different
Yeah.
discords, right? Even to just click 50 times or 25 times to go to half of them. I mean, that's a lot of clicks. So, um, just something that I want to throw out there, something that we've talked about a bunch of times over the past kind of 6 months is, would it be helpful for us to create, private channels, or not private channels, just channels within the Nomad Discord, that can be, specific to an artist or specific to a group of artists or something. So I don't know if there's a way for us to leverage our Discord for the community. If you have any ideas, please hit us up. We're definitely, trying to think about that.
Have you seen how Mojo Heads does their buy art with with
Well, can you
contest bot?
remind us?
So they have a couple different channels. They have this like contest bot. So they're doing it every weekday, but you can set it up for a time period, and you basically just click one button. And then it would draw a name. But they had two different channels: a post your art and a post someone else's art. And then once they ran the contest, they would just randomly select someone from those threads. So there was reason for artists to kind of be constantly posting there because there just might be a random person buying, or there could be the contest buying as well.
I love that. And you know what? I need to get in touch with Moby. We're due for a catch up, so that's a good reminder on that point too. Yeah, we might have to look at that because I think I think it's really tough to find the energy to do your own Discord and do the whole thing yourself. Like we're already all supporting each other, so that might be something worth checking out. So all right, so Mufasa, anything else you want to tell us about this piece?
Hello, am I getting red?
Can you hear us, Mufasa?
Yeah.
So anything else that you want to talk to us about this piece, or anything else going on in your world to share?
I do want to talk. I definitely think like that conversation we had would be super beneficial for other artists in the room. What else would I want to say? Yeah, I'm trying to. Wait, can you guys hear me by the way? Because I keep getting rugged every 5 seconds.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, I'm trying to like. I'm just thinking of that question that you asked me about thinking bigger, and I'm just like, what else can I do? What else can I do? I mean, something you told me last night definitely changed that for me, like thinking the opposite way of what I was actually thinking a bit before. But yeah, I'm creating my own community called the Lions Den, which is I guess based off Mufasa for everyone who knows in here. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to create my own generative art collection. I have also one-of-one art characters. Like everyone loves like these little collages I do, which actually I have a big plan for that in the future. But I'm also gonna break them up and make them like a one-of-one characters and try to give that utility in its own collection, for like clothing and prints, and even add that to like as a benefit for my generative art collection too. I want everything to be intertwined together. But yeah, I don't know what if
So,
I think yeah.
have you ever considered? I don't know if you'd ever. I don't know if you feel comfortable with this, but have you ever considered like going on camera and recording videos and kind of talking to people about your process and what it is you want to achieve as an artist? Have you ever considered doing that?
Okay, so that this summer, once finally my school can get out of the way,
Right.
TikTok and YouTube are going to be like my biggest things that I want to do. I want to start making YouTube videos. I want to start making TikToks. And TikToks will be the best for engaging with the audience, whereas like YouTube, I would make more like in-depth videos of creating art. Um, So yeah, I want to get on camera and probably, because I think that's another factor I'm missing other than showing my art in spaces is showing myself, because I guess people don't really have that big of a connection with me because they don't see what I look like. And I know that there's other artists in the space that have doxed themselves, and they've found a new form of success in a way because people have found a better connection to them because they know that they're an actual person. So yeah, I think, yeah, I definitely want to dox myself for sure. Absolutely. And just like start to do that.
You know, I think when I've purchased art, I find that what usually gets me to invest money into buying art from an artist is that I feel like there's a real connection with the artist, right? Like obviously there are different styles and aesthetics, and there's just certain artwork that I'm more drawn to. But really, when I get to know the artist, that's when that's when it like becomes something that I want to have in my collection. It kind of becomes something that I want to extend my identity into. And so I don't know. I think video is just like a really great way for people to connect with you at scale. Having said that, I'm not trying to go on TikTok and go on video every 5 seconds, but I know that I know that works for a lot of people, and I don't really see that happening a lot in NFT Twitter. Punk, I know you've done some of that. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, I did a little bit to TikTok, but I think with that algorithm, you have to be using it almost every day. But my friend, funny enough, he's in a metal band and he's like a soprano voice, but he's a screamer. So during the pandemic, he started doing metal nursery rhymes. So like TikTok by the seashore, but like in a metal voice, and started getting like millions of views. But he was saying that those project videos do
Is Punk
really.
talking or am I getting rugged again?
He's talking. You're getting
Oh
rugged.
my God. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
No
I'm
worries.
sorry.
But I'll just finish that sentence. So he was just saying those process videos with artists do really well, and people find them really intriguing. And I've seen it done with other people as well.
Yeah, TikTok definitely, there's definitely a way. There's definitely a way of doing it, right? It's not the same thing as just posting whatever video, but there's just so many people on TikTok flipping through videos and discovering new things. And I think if you came up with some really creative way to capture someone's attention and then had that be a way of redirecting them to your art, I think that's the move. And if anyone here has figured that out, or if anyone else here has tried that, definitely come up here and talk to us about it. Just to go back to what Mufasa was saying, we had spoken a while back, and I gave him some advice, which was, however big you're thinking about, what you want to accomplish and what you want to do and where you want to go in the space, like you're probably not thinking big enough. Doesn't mean you're going to get there tomorrow, but and so I think he wanted me to qualify what I meant by that. And something that I've done a lot in the last 5 years of my life is instead of thinking of all the things that I want to do and then kind of just moving forward in one direction, I think about the results, or the outcome, or the finish line of whatever it is I want to accomplish, and however big it is, and then I just back into it. So if I give myself a year, 6 months, or 3 years, or 5 years, I just back into it, and I break that time in between now and then into chunks. And I just think about, what I would have to accomplish over the next 3 months, which would allow me to then be in a position in 3 months from now to accomplish the next thing. When you break it out like that, all of a sudden it doesn't seem so, unattainable, or it doesn't seem so hard to imagine. I just think backing into the end result really helps. So, let's think about it in terms of followers on Twitter. Let's say that one of your goals was to have a certain amount of followers, and you gave yourself a year or 2 years to hit this like really huge number. If you broke it out into months or into quarters, and you started to think about it into quarterly chunks, and then you broke it into days, it starts to give you a sense of how much you need to do. And then you can start testing things. Like if I start DMing people that, follow other people in Nomad Boulevard, or, if I want to, DM people that follow at least 5 people that follow people in my network. Just it gives you a place to start testing things. So I was telling Mufasa, just think bigger, because uh, I look at Mufasa's pin tweet, and I'm actually looking at it right now. So it was from December 31st. Was that from December 31st? Were we doing this on New Year's? It says, I never would have expected this to happen tonight. Huge grateful shout out to Nomad Boulevard and West Henry for everything tonight. I'm truly grateful for not only winning the pre-sale, but for the fact that you guys lit the fire for my NFT career. Y'all are freaking amazing. And I'm just looking at these pieces, which, by the way, Mufasa, like, you're getting better. Like, that's for sure. And
Dude.
and yeah, like everything sold out that night. And so here you are, and you're saying that you're not getting the traction that you want yet. But this post that I pinned up here, it has 104 likes and 58 retweets, and you're not giving anything away. And that's all happened in a period of 3-4 months. So I would look at that as your benchmark. Like you've come a really far way, and give yourself time.
You're absolutely right, my guy. Absolutely. I think that's, you know, what I was trying to say is art wise, trying to create an art career. I didn't expect this to happen whatsoever. I thought art was going to be something secondary. I no idea what I tried so many different things, and art was always there, but I never expected it to actually be something attainable and be able to become successful from it, and actually have like a life from it. Until the NFT space came around, and I met you guys, and everything completely changed in a matter of like weeks, days, whatever. But it seriously has been something that now I've had to retrace my steps a little bit into like really like self-center myself and be like, okay, this is actually something attainable. Now we have to actually work for it, right? One thing I didn't have, by the way, that night kind of changed things for me because I believed in my art. I knew I was going to keep getting better, but I did not believe in myself whatsoever. Every time I tried something, I just kept coming back down. I would another 2 months of trying something, just fail again and fail again. And I don't know what that was, but that gave me some kind of inspiration or drive to keep going. And now I've been able to I cannot believe it's only been like 5-6 months, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm still doing this. Like, this is actually working out. Like, what the hell? So now I understand. Like, okay, like I have to have the patience because it's gonna work out, and the confidence, 100% the confidence to keep going because that's something I was lacking, and now I'm able to actually harness that in a sense, and it's really working out. I think in a blessing kind of way.
Mufasa, I have one more question for you before we move on to Jesse. Is there a brand or a company that would be like a dream come true collaboration brand?
Oh my God. Well, I was a sports kid, so growing up on Adidas and Nike was the goal for me. I literally like everything I'd wear. Everyone thought I was sponsored by them because of how much I would wear them. So if I could work with Nike, that would be amazing. With Adidas as well, that would literally be a dream come true. And and I was really thinking about what you said, and now, I gave you really, those are meaningful answers, but they're very broad, and they're not really like what I really wanted to say was a Mufasa brand, like Mufasa, like I create these characters, and it would be such a cool, and I guess you could say dream come true to have these like characters become something so significant, like a Takashi Murakami flower or a Cause character, like to have one of those characters like with Nike on them or Adidas on them, that would be amazing.
So I think you can build that. I think you can start doing that. Without permission. Um, you know, put together a website. Start to put together some of these characters and explain what these characters are and what they mean and what their purpose is, and try to bring some of those things to life. Um, you know, isn't it? Hasn't it happened before where people kind of do their own take for a brand, and then a brand sees it and picks it up? I don't know. I'm starting to think like there's so many brands out there. We're getting so much inbound and so many calls from different companies and brands that are trying to figure out how to get into Web3, and they're really excited about Nomad and being able to kind of tap into the community. And I think brands need they need direction, they need inspiration. So if there's something that you're a brand or idea that you're really passionate about, I think just start doing it, and if it comes to life.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and that's why that's why my mom, she's like, hey, why don't you just like add a Nike logo or make some like bulky Nike shoes on your characters or something. Like, why don't you like keep tagging and then tag Nike and see what happens, and just keep doing that over and over again. And like, you never know, like, you miss what is it? What is that saying? You miss a million shots you don't take or something like that. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep us posted. I love this piece. I'm not sure if everyone can see it, but I did retweet it from my account. It's Duality and Blackout. Available on OpenSea. We're going to consider these for purchase for our vaults. We'll probably make some decisions this week. Thanks for being up here, man. Yeah, thanks for being up here.
Thank you, brother. And I want to say one more thing to you. One more thing for Hero and Nomad. Nomad has been so freaking amazing. I swear that every time in my spaces, whenever a new artist comes to me, I always shout you guys out and make sure they go straight to you guys, because you're not only you guys, but your whole community has been so supportive, and I made so many new friends because of it. So I try to make sure that new incoming artists make sure they go check out this community, because it's like the perfect place for them to start in a way to gain that support and that awareness in a sense, because of how supportive you guys are. So yeah, that's the last thing I want to say. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it, man. And we're also kind of getting ready for the next phase of what Nomad Boulevard's all about, right? So obviously I've been talking about the gallery, but there's more. We're kind of designing the next the next concept for the next collection. We're having some conversations with other ways of doing this. I think when we first did Nomad, we were like, all right, we're going to do 3,500 based in LA. Then we're going to do a new city, and we're going to rinse and repeat and bring as much exposure to as many different artists in as many different cities as possible through a PFP project. And, we're really paying attention to what the market wants and what the market can withstand. And it's just going to involve us, evolving and reiterating. And a lot of time and energy has gone into figuring out how we're going to evolve this. What I can tell you is that while we are taking our time, we're not slowing down. We have a meeting tomorrow that hopefully will be the final of 15 meetings. We've been trying to close something pretty big. So anyway, for the time being, let's support each other. Let's get to see what everyone's working on. And for those of you who are in here, if you haven't reached out to Brandy yet, and you want to, feature some of your art in these spaces, reach out to Brandy at Nomad Boulevard on Twitter. Let's get you scheduled for next week. We're going to be purchasing artwork for our vaults, and want to use this as a platform for all of us to kind of give each other updates on what we're working on. So yeah, let's go over to Jesse Doyle. Jesse, talk to us. What's going on?
I'm doing good. Staying busy.
Are you creating every day?
Yeah, I definitely am. Whether it's for just personal want or need, or to work on a project that's, coming on. It's sort of a changing, as you know, the markets change and cycles come through. So right now it's a lot of collaborations, getting some stuff lined up for the future. And getting ready in these slower months with the NFT space. You can really do some prep work, some creating, some networking, and use this downtime to really get some momentum,
And what kind of collaborations? Anything you can talk about?
Yeah, I have a couple that are just in the works. We don't have release dates or nothing yet, but Senator Greaves, Mr. Melty, Greg Overton, some pretty big names.
Amazing. Anything that you can share with us? Anything that we can see, or not yet?
Nothing on those yet, just because we're kind of going through the creative cycle. We're not sure what we want to release, but it's going to be interesting. So definitely in the next coming few weeks, we'll get that going. I know everyone's super busy with other projects as well, so I'm not pushing that. When it's meant to be, it'll come together. So they're exciting. Yeah.
100%. All right. Well, is there anything, have you DM'd me with something that you want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, I DM'd you a few things in the Nomad account there.
All right. Well, let me switch over. All right, so let me see if I can pin this. I'm going to go ahead and pin. Which one should I pin?
So tomorrow I'm doing a 420 drop with a pretty wild creature. If you want to do that one first.
Okay, hold on. Is this
I don't have a link to like a OpenSea or nothing yet on it. It's just kind of the image. So
all right, let's see if I can pin this. Is it the one that says I just finished this Enlightened Beast?
yeah.
Wow. All right, hold on.
It's a pretty powerful piece. I don't really know what to think of it, but it's got some energy in it. That's all I look for, you know? A little charge.
All right, so I pinned this. I'm sure not everyone can see this. So just in case, I'm going to retweet this from the Nomad Boulevard account.
Awesome.
So go ahead and take a look at that.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I mean, that was just sort of letting out some stagnant energy, kind of getting the mind's eye working again, busting some rust. I've been working a lot with just painting again in the real world, getting some canvases done, some commissions done up. So most recently, though, I also DM'd you a picture of a Charizard. So I'm doing a few custom one-of-one print pieces for a local. They'll be like a hand-embellished canvas print, and I'm gonna make them real saucy. But we're gonna do those, put them on the wall above like where all the Pokemon and collector cards are. And he thinks he has a pretty good collector base that really eats that sort of stuff up. So we're gonna use the digital work to sort of, because this is a non NFT project, so being versatile and still active in your art career and growing, I think is good. You got to have multiple avenues, whether it's clothes, drop shipping for clothes, or like right now I'm doing some skateboards, some snowboards, trying to get some different type of usable art out there too, and just growing the brand with this visionary cubism.
Love this piece. This is wild. And
Which one is that?
Sorry, I'm looking at Enlightened Beast, and I'm looking at the one that doesn't have a name. That
is it Reimagine? I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Reimagine is the real wild. I did that one on the way home from Venice when we had the Nomad meetup. So
the launch party.
Yep. So it catches those same kind of Venice vibes. I was still fresh, you know.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna pin one more that you sent me.
Absolutely.
Hold on one sec. And this isn't your typical Jesse Doyle style. This one.
Yeah, that was a because I'm pretty expressive in my art. I can work in multiple forms, but I did start as a abstract expressionist, so I was trying to just apply that same balance and kind of composition with the fun digital tools and effects. But I think that one's going to be really cool I made a fake little like Pokemon card to see how it would shape up. But like, once again, just having fun with your art and doing wild things and collaborating or creating something and having these companies reach out, like, you never know what the possibilities are. And, you know, I've seen a lot of artists kind of work and do like Topps trading card style stuff. So, you know, I've been really digging the physical and the digital trading cards. You know, that's what NFTs really are. They're this digital source of trading cards. So
100%. By the way, if anyone wants to come up and talk about any of this stuff, any of the artwork, or talk to any of the artists that are up here,
please ask questions.
Yeah, feel free to request to come up here, and happy to bring you up. So Jesse, love all of this. I've pinned all of it up here. If you can't see it, I've also retweeted it from the Nomad Boulevard handle.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, definitely going to consider these for the vaults.
I do have some point ones that I just relisted. I didn't send you the links to those. They had just expired, so I got them put back up. But they are available for your guys' point one asking. So
okay, great.
Yeah, if you want to just take a look there, I actually have a handful of pieces in my inventory right now. Like I said, it's been pretty slow, but I do create every day, anywhere from 2 to 8 hours or so now. So it's fun to pick through, look at my collection, and see what sort of catches your eye.
Nice. All right, we'll do. Well, Jesse, stay up here with us, man. Let's move to because I'm realizing it's we spent so much time trying to figure out how to pin tweets. It's 8:52. We want to talk to a bunch of people tonight, so let's go over to Punk next. Punk, hang on one sec. I'm gonna pin this right now and then tweet it. But this is your PFP, right?
Yeah, so this is similar to that one piece that you really like. I'm gonna send you one more tweet too if you want them that. So I did my PFP collection last October, which I had some success with, and then this is kind of like a double exposure ink drop silhouette I've been playing with, and I've done a few different versions of it. So this one got submitted to NFT Liverpool and got picked up, so I'm pretty stoked on that.
Wait, hold on a second. NFT Liverpool?
Yeah.
So can you tell us about how that worked out? You applied, and how did you
Yeah,
hear back?
so it's kind of a weird system. You just had to do a tweet with certain hashtags, and then they had a website, and one of the main curators that is in Paris Hilton select my piece. So I was pretty stoked on that. I had a couple of offers to get into physical spaces at the end of last year, and I wasn't really expecting it, but now I'm kind of had that in mind when I'm creating and when I'm submitting pieces now. So I have one at Nftbc, which is in Vancouver, coming up here in May, so I'm excited about that. And then I'm just planning my event, and then I have a super secret big project that I'm working on that I can't say anything on, but I'm pretty excited about. Yeah, so life's good, man. Just kind of plugging away. Honestly, I try to spend a certain amount of time in the communities. I've been co-hosting space with Marianne Chisholm every now and again, and yeah, just sharing art and just being an active community member.
So, speaking of being an active community member, can you tell us about the super secret project you're working on?
I legally can't.
And wait, legally in what country?
Canada. It's a little bit north. Our law systems work though, so it's a little bit scary for me.
Okay.
No, I had to sign an NDA, but I can say a little bit. So basically, one of my friends who recommended me to the space, they have something really big that they're working on, and yeah, I mean, I'll be able to say more about it later, but it's with some bigger brands and some bigger people in different spaces, and it's kind of exciting. But it's like you were kind of saying before, like, put your head down for 3 months and see where you go. And it's kind of one of those chapters where it's just like, huh, that's a really cool opportunity that I wouldn't have been able to see 6 months ago, but now it's here.
Literally, the summer of last year up until end of January was like being on a high-speed roller coaster, screaming, and it just not stopping. And you're also trying to do art and figure things out and be in 14,000 discords and be on Twitter spaces 10 hours a day. I really don't know how a lot of us survived. And so it's nice to like get off the roller coaster, eat a churro, go to the bathroom, say hi to a nice lady sitting on the bench. Like, it's nice to just take a break and take a breath and then, give yourself some time to do something special, before you get back on that crazy ride. But cool. So, I'm just looking at the other four pieces that I pinned. So these are all one of ones.
Yeah, those are all one of one. So that's my identity collection. So those are what I released in October and December last year. And so I'm only doing 20 of those for sale per year. It's my own PFP collection. Yeah, those are really fun, and it's kind of one of my main collections. So I've enjoyed doing them. I've enjoyed having a limited release, but because sometimes I mean, I don't know about other people release, but like having a firm number, it's just like, okay, these have to be special. I can't just put anything out there. They have to have some appealing. So I play around with different things, different styles a little bit, like collage or double exposure. But then I'm trying to like work in little bits of mythology, or I'm a big comic book nerd, so I would love to do something that looks like Doctor Strange and just out of this world. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Very cool. Yeah. So everyone, if you go to OpenSea and you click on this collection, this is incredible. This is incredible work. And obviously, I'm always partial to Aphrodite, right? That's like, that's always going to be Punk. But like, even this one that I haven't seen before, it's called Camilla. This one is out of control. Oh, of course, it's owned by YVR Trader.
Yeah, he's a really good supporter.
Yeah, of course. Well, that one, that could be my favorite piece too. And Punk, anything going on in the Vancouver, art scene that we should know about?
So the Nftbc event is happening, I think, May 6th, at the Hollywood Theater. And like Fuck Vendor's going to be there, Mad Dog Jones, and I can't remember who else. So there's going to be a panel there. And then a lot of people I know, I think YBR Trader is going to be there. And then some of my other collectors are going to be there, so a couple friends. So that's exciting. And then I have a festival that I'm doing in North Vancouver, and I'm trying to get a gallery space for the Labor Day weekend still, so I can do my own NFT exhibit.
That sounds amazing. I know we've talked about talking offline about that a bunch of times. We're focused on really, getting this gallery in Los Angeles set up. But as soon as we kind of, get this in motion, we definitely want to open up shop in some other places. So, please, I'm watering that seed with you. I definitely want to talk.
Yeah,
about
I would love to talk to you about that. I'm honestly we're about less than a month away until our music festival, like 10 to 15,000 people a week or every Friday. So I'm just trying to nail in those final nails in that project. And then the gallery will be on the last day of the event in September. So I have a little bit of time before I have to start really wrapping my brain around that whole spangle.
Okay. All right. Well, that'll leave us a little bit of room, but definitely want to talk to you about that. And thanks for being up here. And, let's not forget the days of you kind of co-hosting and hosting the Nomad Boulevard Twitter spaces in the early days, as we were really starting to ramp up the community and bring awareness of the project. So, here we are in April, still on the stage together.
Yeah, it's rad, man. It's always nice doing these rooms. It's Mufasa was saying too, like a lot of the people in this community I met are very like-minded and some great artists, some great collectors, and just even seeing some of the people in other spaces, just to say, oh, there's a Nomad. Like it's just like they're cool.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Well, please stay up here with us. And by the way, everyone in the room, when we pin tweets for the artists that are up here, or I retweet because we're having trouble pinning tweets tonight, definitely give it a like and retweet. Let's support each other, and even one new person seeing something for the first time because you share, definitely makes a difference. So, and by the way, Wes is on stage. Welcome, Wes.
What up, hero? Hey, everybody. How you doing?
We're doing well. As you can see, we've got Punk on stage, Jesse Doyle, Mufasa. So the three of them have all kind of talked a little bit about what they're working on. So that's cool. I'm trying to think what else you've missed. 3Min X is doing a giveaway, which, by the way, 3Min X, if you can pin that again just to see if it works this time, I'd love everyone to retweet that. She's going to be giving away one of her pieces that she didn't mint from early on. So we've got that giveaway happening tonight. We're also going to be talking to Grondin. And Grondin, you'll have to tell me if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. We're going to talk to Broken Mechanic, who's been doing like hilarious and awesome Nomad content. And then we're going to be talking to you, Wes, about some of your most personal details and secrets, the uncomfortable ones that are going to make you feel awkward, that are going to make you cry, and that are going to make you, I don't know, just feel uncomfortable because I don't think people know that side of you yet.
Well, I'm going to say good luck because I don't get like uncomfortable and I don't get, what was the other emotion you're saying?
So you don't get, what do you mean you don't get uncomfortable?
I mean, even if there's an uncomfortable situation, it's like real quick and there's no like, I don't get very embarrassed easily. I have a very thick skin. So, fuck it, dude. I could tell you about this story. I shit my pants as a grown adult when I went to Greece. Like it's a banger of a story. Like that's what I mean. I don't give a fuck.
So, like I don't want to really have that image in my head for the rest of the spaces.
Yeah, we're pretty visual people. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Oh my gosh. So I'm surprised there isn't an NFT of you shitting your pants in Greece yet.
I mean, that's a decent idea, man. I don't know how it would depict it. It's probably like the ending moment when I had lost the battle is when. So I had just moved there, or like because I went there for study abroad and was there for like fucking half a year. But it was like the first week. I guess my stomach was like adjusting. Anyways, it was a whole long thing, but it ended with me with my key in the keyhole of like the apartment that I lived in, and I took a knee and I wedged my heel in my like asshole just so I could get like a break because I've been clenching my asshole for so long, and I just was like, all right, I'll just give it like one thousandth, just a little break, and then we'll go into this place. And there was like, it was very, very early in the morning, and there was still like a roommate or two that I hadn't even met because I lived with like 3 roommates when I was there. And 2 of them I hadn't met yet. So I kind of did that, quick break with my key in the keyhole and just wedged my heel in my ass. And then, I just relaxed my ass for like 2 seconds, and it was just a gallon of diarrhea just poured out into my pants. And then I like, but I was like, because it was like, oh no, but then like relief at the same time was a weird emotion. And it was like, oh no. And then I tucked my pant legs into my socks and walked, because I was like in the city of Athens. So I was like in like a dense city. You couldn't just like go to the wood. There's no like woods. And I walk into my place and I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? Fucking went straight to the fucking bathroom and like showered and put on my clothes and like the trash can that was in there, like in the bag. And they're like brand new jeans. They're like expensive designer jeans I got for my trip. And I just, they're just gallon of diarrhea got poured into there, but that's what I mean. Like, I don't know.
I feel like I can hear Isabelle throwing her phone against the wall right now. I mean, like, shut up, Wes, shut up.
No, you know what Isabelle's doing right now? And she's not on stage to defend herself. She's just in the audience, and she's just going to, if she wants to join us and defend herself, she can. But she's probably looking down at her ankles, and she's seeing her socks and the bottom of her pants or jeans. And she's wondering, would I also tuck my pants or jeans into my socks to prevent leakage? I think that's probably what she's thinking. Isabelle?
I mean, look, it's the smart thing to do. I would hope that you would.
You know what I thought of when you said that was, when people are decorating cakes and they have those little like frosting tubes that are like soft.
Yep.
I was just picturing that.
Like 2 frosting tubes walking through the apartment, just like lighting it up with frosting.
Your one moment of shame, you just tuck them in.
Fuck it, dude. That's the thing. Like, it's not. That's what I mean, though. Like, the shame is like.
I'm crying over here.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's not there. Like, I'm not like embarrassed. It's like, yo, people do dumb shit. People do ridiculous shit every day. It's like you either admit it and you're honest to yourself with it, or you're like in denial. That's it.
Exactly.
Everyone has like moments of brilliance and moments where you say some shit where you're like, that's insane. Like those, like where they walk up to someone on the street and just put a microphone in their face on like, like Leno or like one of those like late night shows. Some people, that's like their worst nightmare because they're trying to play it that they're like got all their shit together at all times. Like,
Yep.
No, you don't, man. Like, it's more fun if we're just like, fuck it, Like those, I feel like those are the best moments is when people are like raw and honest about.
Oh, damn straight. All I can picture right now. Remember those bloody bathroom paintings you did?
Yep.
Yeah. Just switch the tint. There you go.
Brown, shitty bathroom.
I appreciate you guys, speculating on my thoughts on this subject. It's all really good guesses. Really good guesses. I admire the confidence of just like, I'm going to walk through this and just get to the bathroom as quickly as possible. I think that was a smooth move. No pun intended.
Hi, Isabelle, and thank you.
Hey.
Like, I feel like it was a smart play, I mean, if you're going to have like a gallon of pudding in your pants, like you don't want it to affect anyone else,
It's weird because I studied abroad too, and I almost would have rather what happened to you happen to me, because what happened to me was I got there and then I was allergic to something, or like my stress was up, and the stress caused this reaction, and I basically broke out in a rash. So
Oh
for
boy.
fucking 6 months, I had a rash that was just like, I didn't know where it came from. Like I wasn't like sick or anything. It was just like all of a sudden I had like a thing, like eczema or something that I'd never seen or had before. And I was just like, what is this? And then I came home 6 months
Jesus.
later and it went away. So I don't know. I don't know.
Whoa. Well,
Yeah.
what, like, where was it? Like, was it everywhere?
Everywhere on my arms, like neck, like it was just everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where were you? Where'd you study abroad?
I was in Florence, Italy, studying the arts, the fine arts.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah, I was like learning how to like make paint and stuff. It was very
Whoa.
privileged
I don't think
and
a lot of
special.
people know that the original gorilla was Italian. It was like an Italian gorilla from the Italian, I don't know,
Yeah.
land.
I got one like sipping a little like macchiato. Like I got he's like I thought it was like Tony Soprano like sitting on the back porch or something.
It is Tony Soprano. I think it's called Tony.
Boom. There you go. That's where I remember it from, and I
It's
fucking love it, and I own at least one of them.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about because it's the Satrials from The Sopranos. That's like the little
their hangout.
piggy, like fluorescent light on the building. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
So anyone else on stage have any, skin irritation or,
diarrhea?
I would only follow a poop to the ankles story with my rash story. I felt like I was safe there. So, yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, can't lie. I
do have one other, there's this one other time on the same, it's the same trip. I was staying in a hostel and I got roomed with like a strange lady, and whatever, that's what you do in hostels, right? It's all cool. I go to take a shower, and well, before I had taken the shower, she was kind of like mumbling and stuff to herself. But like I said, I was super like open-minded and whatever. I take a shower. She shuts the lights off on me in the bathroom. So I get out of the shower. It's pitch black. I'm naked. I'm like searching for the lights. I think I'm going to get stabbed. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is it. This is it. The door, like, where's the door? Where's this person? She's like mumbling about her daughter and like how I look like her daughter. And she ran, because this woman is like in her 60s. So like, she wasn't like a typical 20-something hostel goer, and it was insane. Luckily, I opened the door. She wasn't there with a knife, and I ran out in a towel down to the front desk, and I said, I need a new room. So I survived, but that was insane.
And you never know. Look, like that movie Hostel. Remember that shit that came out? It was like, hey, it could be worse. They could be tying you up and blowtorching your eye or whatever they do. That's like super fucked. I remember that too. There was a lot of sketchy ass situations in hostels, and it was like depending on your budget, you could like upgrade, because if you go to like, I got three, depending on what city you're in, you're like, all right, I got $4 a night. Then you're like, all right, you're staying in a room with like 20 other people, and it's going to be insane. I hope you brought like earplugs. Or you're like, all right, I'm going to upgrade it, roll the dice, and go to like an 8-person or a 4-person, or like you can go all the way up and live in like a king or queen where you get the single, which was like, damn, you're paying like 30-40 a night or something, which is just crazy.
I had this one. I went to Amsterdam to meet some friends, and I got a hostel. They got a separate hostel. I was like staying alone. I was just going to meet up with them. I did not realize my hostel was Christian. So I went out partying with all my friends, and this Christian hostel closed at like 9:30 p.m. So I came home and it was like locked. So then I had to like, and this was like, we didn't have smartphones. So I'm just like using my little like flip phone to like call my friends, like, can I come back to your place? But like the hostel was closed.
Damn.
Like no maps, no smartphone, just like, all right, it's like 3 a.m. How do I get home?
I remember those days of like before. So I would always travel on weekends, and I would go solo because I found like when I traveled with other people on like little weekend excursions, I would just end up doing the same thing. I go with like a group of dudes, and they'd be like, "Oh, let's just go to the bar and get fucked up." I'm like, I got so sick of that. I'm like, I want to do something different, and I started traveling by myself. And I remember the only way to learn about the city I was going was to get like the Lonely Planet guide and like just read the shit out of that and try and memorize the maps and like where the train stops are going to be and where the how far the hostel is, and I would just roll the fucking dice. And I like a lot of times I don't plan things that well. I like to kind of get lost. I like to wind up in weird situations that are, like I dressed like a criminal, and there was a few times because I'm like the person you don't want to rob is like the like large guy that's wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with a big beard. Like it's like maybe I'll pick a different victim. And I remember going to like Budapest, Hungary, like another like solo mission, and I got there on like a Thursday at I don't know, it was like 4 in the morning or something. Everything was closed, and I was like, well, I didn't plan this well. And I remember I went down into like a bar to get some like just to get like a little bit warm and get a like drink of water, and it was such a fucking sketchy situation. Basically, like the record skipped, and I was like, oh fuck! It was like some like death metal fucking bar with like people that were just not trying to have a new person come in there, and I was like, all right, I should probably go. And I ended up like sleeping on like a park bench till the sun came up, and it was like, damn, I don't know, those adventures. Like nowadays, you could travel the whole fucking world. All you need is a cell phone and an ID, and I mean a credit card just in case they don't take like Apple Pay, and you
Yeah,
could
you get
do anything.
yeah, you get like a couple extra batteries for your phone, so you don't need,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
good.
and you could do even like you just get Google Translate. Like when I was in Japan recently, like I don't know, like 3 years ago or something, uh, it didn't matter the language and the signs. Like you could put on the Google Translate, you open that up and you go to like the image thing, and then you can just hold it up to the signs and it translates it to English. So it's like you have your choice, like learn a bit of the native language or don't give a fuck. And you can even like when you meet people, you can write the messages or you can say the messages and it'll speak it aloud to them. And it's like too easy where it's not even like a challenge anymore.
I actually prefer to spend 2 to 3 years immersing myself in a new culture and country, learning the native tongue before I communicate with anyone. So I like that. I like that there's that option. I just want to say also, I feel like if you look up depreciating asset in the dictionary, even though that's two different words, but you know what I mean, there's literally a Lonely Planet book as an example. I can't think of something that as soon as you buy it, it becomes worth nothing as soon as you buy it, because I don't know who would use that anymore. A Lonely Planet.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
mean, I don't either. I mean, even like the poorest of the poor third world countries, like even if there's not a lot of like computing technology, the average person has a cell phone and has like some sort of internet access, and it's like just blows my fucking
I
mind.
remember the last time I went out of the country, and I don't even know where it was because it was 3 years ago or whatever. But my dad, he did give me a book from Rick Steves on that country that I was going to. And I still have it. So
Nice.
I'm like, this is going to be like a relic one day.
That's amazing. I mean, it reminds me of like, yeah, my parents were like printing out map quests, like directions to places for a long time. Still, when I go back to my parents' house, they'll be like, all right, so if you're driving, like when I lived in Chicago and I would go visit them in the suburbs, they'd be like, all right, so when you're leaving, you're going to want to jump on this highway. And I'm like, yo, I don't know streets. I just fucking put it in Google and call it a day. Like, I don't know any streets. There's no need to know them. It's crazy how much you don't have to like be
yeah,
smart
Wes,
about. You just have to be
you don't have to know
resourceful.
anything. Now you
Yeah,
don't have to know anything is what you're saying.
right. Like you don't need any like the most useful is like it's not working memory like knowledge type of thing. It's like resourcefulness in problem solving, where like Trivial Pursuit, like, oh, you're an expert, like doesn't matter. Like you just Google every single one of those things. Like maybe in the way that you can get to your answer and then the way that your resourcefulness works, like it benefits you, but it's weird how that has changed so much. Where like you can meet some really, really smart like person right now, like a baby boomer generation who's super smart, and if they're not good at technology, they're fucked. And that it doesn't matter, you know. It's wild.
Unless you're an artist.
It's true.
On that note, I wanna just pause for a sec, and I wanna say hello to Grondin, because Grondin would love you to try to pin something up here, and if not, DM me, and I'm going to share it with everyone so we could look at it and hear a little bit about what you're working on. I see you've already sent something over, so I'm going to try pinning this now.
Also, fuck yeah, Grondin, nice PFP, my friend. So Grondin won the. I gave one of those away the other night. It sold out. That was the last drop I did, and I did the Twitter picker, and boom, there it is, Grondin.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, how that PFP kind of reminds me of like a convergence of like 2 or 3 of your styles.
Yeah, that one felt like not epiphany, but it felt like really kind of flowy, like out of me. Like there was a real lack of like planning, and I feel like whenever that happens, there's no blueprint, it just really like flow state flows out and gets to a point in the end where I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm proud of it. And that was like it hasn't happened for a minute, and that one just felt really fucking good. I'm excited about that one.
Cool. And also, just really quick, Ronan, before we go to you, just invited someone up on stage for a sec, but now they're not on stage anymore. It was someone that went by Sarita or something. Did everyone see that person come up on stage?
I saw them requesting, but I thought it was a fake account.
Yeah, I think it was a fake account because I accepted and then they went away.
Yeah, they also like 29 followers and no tweets, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So, so weird, you know? What is going on?
Yo, it's a rough day for that account because, I mean, we saw, what was it today that Twitter released that, or at least it's the first time I've seen it, that you can mute people that haven't verified their phone and their email, or have like a default profile, or don't follow you, or whatever those settings you want. It's like a big fucking deal for, I don't know, against just that bullshit, man. It's like that, anytime that happens in life, that just brings me so much fucking warmth to my heart, because like think about how many times, like our cell phones, your email, like there's so much extra cluttered bullshit that's out there. I mean, don't even get me started on advertising, but I'm talking about like literally like scammers or fucking people trying to steal your shit. And it's like, it's just part of life. It's so fucking crazy that is a thing. Or like junk mail. How the fuck is junk mail still a thing, man? Like we're all like, yeah, save the planet, don't use a fucking straw. We're like, what about the fucking pounds of paper that get delivered to your house that go straight in the recycling? Like, fucking get out of here, dude. So anyways, God
and also
bless
stop
Twitter.
talking about like the crypto thing when the even the junk mail in your inbox is like, it's just like taxing everything. It's so taxing, you know. It's just a waste of space all around. There's a funny Instagram, because this happened to me recently, but this one comedian posted about the junk mail in his mailbox. You know, it's like the papers that are like folded in half and then smashed into your mailbox. And it's like, then there's like some sort of like tax bill like stuck and hidden in that paper bunch that you miss, you know. It's just like the whole thing is just so stupid.
It's insane,
yeah, and like,
that
and it's
still
like
exists.
You look at one website and then all of a sudden they're sending you a catalog, like a full-blown color catalog.
Yeah, as well. Look at fucking, I went on like I tried to read. This happens all the time, but like Forbes specifically. I remember when Forbes and God bless like the news industry, how they're just absolutely fucked, and they're all just like putting out like attention grabbing headlines to get us to click. But like Forbes, I remember when that was like a legit like baller, like oh my God, someone's in Forbes, or like the articles are good and whatever it is, like it was like respected. If you go on their website, like I get it like an Apple news feed or something, a story, and I click it, it is so filled with ads. Like I wanted to post about it, but I'm like, I already fucking rant about this shit too much. It was like there was a bar across the top that had dropped down and a video was playing. There was an advertisement over the image that was inside the article. Like it popped up over the image. There was a banner ad across the bottom and then another ad on top of the banner ad. So I was looking at 6 like bullshit advertisements that the little X button is like hard to press or like hard to get to because they use like trickery to get around that. And it was like the actual article I was reading was like half an inch of space on the screen. It was all just ads. And I'm like, how the fuck is everyone cool with this? It's just, it blows my mind that it's just like, yeah, well, someone's gotta pay the bills for the website. Like, yo, your website's a fucking joke. It was
That's
insane.
cancer.
You can't, yeah, it's just like, you can't, I'm reading an article and there's just like, oh my God, it was upsetting. Fuck that. How did we get here? I don't know how I got on this rant.
I don't
your
know.
pants.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It all started with you explosively shitting your pants on a breezy, Grecian day, and I picture you just like taking a kneel like in slow motion just to give your muscles in that region a break, and it just
it's like the scene in Bridesmaids where she's trying on
yes
poofy dresses
in the middle of the street.
Yeah,
like, this is happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
All right, so Grandin, hello. Please say hello, and help us pivot from the skin irritation and diarrhea of Wes Henry.
Hello. Hey, it's funny because I actually have a story as well that I shit my pants, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna.
Oh
tell
no!
it.
Now we got to hear.
No. No, I can't do it.
I think we just need like a weekly story, Nomad Blvd story time session.
Well, I thought Davey was going to be the one to bring some crazy story of life on the road with Korn and being a session musician, because the story last time was like jaw dropping, which, by the way, Davey, feel free to share your story before we end tonight. But I just wasn't expecting Wes to just go into such effortless, vivid detail, even of the consistency.
Look, man,
of the
you
fecal
baited
matter.
me. You were like, "Well, let's see if we can get you embarrassed now."
I know, but Wes, I thought you were going to be like, yeah, and then we were going to move on.
I was speechless.
It was just me just talking. I wasn't really trying to poke the bear, and clearly.
Look, man,
clearly the bear was poked.
Oh,
Dude,
the bear was poked.
I'm like a passenger as much as I am a driver in like whatever this mech suit of my body is, bro. I'm just kind of like watching it unfold. So like, don't blame me, bro.
Do you still have the pants?
No, I mean, I put them straight in a garbage bag. That was the trash garbage bag in the bathroom. And then I showered and then came out of there like in my boxers, rechanged into something for the day because it was like fucking 6 a.m. And then I was like, oh, hey, everybody, I'll be back. And went straight out to the dumpster. Boom. And I just felt amazing because, that was like 7 days built up. And I was just...
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean 6 a.m.? Whoa. What do you mean 6 a.m.? And also, what do you mean 7 days built up?
So I had been in Greece for 7 days and I hadn't shit. Because I guess it was like the new food or whatever it was. Here we are back again, everybody. We're taking the drive. And I was like,
I mean, come on. It's like every time you change your routine, it's bound to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
So
not
it was
like a weird thing to be like suddenly off schedule.
right.
No,
So
there's off schedule, and then there's not shitting for 7 days.
But 7 days?
It was
a long time.
Maybe it was 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. I don't remember exactly, but it was a lot. And I was woken up. I was woken up from a night's slumber at like maybe 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. And I was like, oh fuck. And it was like a knife in my stomach, if anyone's ever had that. And it was like I was like in so much pain that I was sweating. And it would come in like waves. And I'd be like, oh, fuck. And I would just be in pain for like 10 seconds, like a full 10 seconds. And then the wave would go away and I would be relaxed. And I was like, what is this? So then I like left the house and went to find a pharmacy, but the city like wasn't open yet. So I eventually like waited outside of this. Like, I didn't speak a fucking lick of Greek, by the way, because I'd only been there for 6 fucking days. So I'm in a city I don't know, standing outside a pharmacy that I think is a pharmacy. Like, it's got a little plus sign on it. And I like asked this woman, I was like, stomach, oh, hurt, pain. And I was like sweating and like in weird clothes and shit. And it was like the sun was like I don't even know if the sun was up. It was like the magic hour. That's what it was, the magic hour. And I'm like, and so she handed me like these little pills and she was like, only take one. I was like, yeah, word. Turned around, just popped 4, like right on the spot. And then as soon as I did that, it was definitely not the pills because they take like 30, 40 minutes to act. My whole body just went like, oh, and I heard this like in my stomach, and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? And I like kind of stood up like a deer when it hears like a twig break in the woods, where it like looks over and it's like, what the fuck was that? And then I was like, and then my stomach's like, like it was like Dumb and Dumber shit, where I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then, so there was no more pain, 0 pain now. But my stomach was making these weird fucking bubbling sounds. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, and I had to clench because I was like, I don't know. I don't trust the fart in that moment, right? And then I'm like, oh no, this is like, something's going on here. So I started like, walking back to my place at like a nice hustle. And I was like a mile away, man. I was like far to go find this place. And it's a lot of like rolling hills and shit in Athens. So then, my sphincter muscles are getting like a little tired, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to pick up the fucking pace. So I start, getting like a weird, like one of those like people that is like a professional walker at like where I got like the hips going, and I'm like, oh, like moving through the street, and then all of a sudden I'm like, this is not gonna do it. So I'm like, fuck it, and I start full blown running down the streets of Athens, like, like full blown, like sprinting, and I'm like, there's like park bench or whatever. I'm like jumping shit, like, like full as fast as I can run, and that's why when I eventually got there and I put my key in the outer door keyhole and took a knee to like take a sphincter break, and then that was it, man. That was it. I lost the battle, but like at the same time, it was like I said, it was like a weird emotion. It was like this warmth.
I think we need like a PFP project that's just called Sphincter Break.
I want to make it like a little animated short. I feel like it would come out like decent. Like I could do the keyframes to set the scene.
You can't even say it would come out decent without me thinking of it. Like the visual is just so intense right now.
I think it would be, and it would just be like a voiceover. I would tell it the best way I know how. But I think it's one of those stories where like, even if this has never happened like exactly to you, everyone can like sort of relate a little bit. And I don't know, if you catch the right visual and it's told in the right light, it usually gets some quality fucking laughs, like guttural laughs out of like people that I don't even know when I tell it in person, because I do like act it out and shit. It's a go-to story for like work-related events and shit to like really, it's an icebreaker is what it is.
Grondin,
it's actually a sphincter breaker.
So, Grondin, back to you. I have pinned a tweet of some of the stuff that you've been working on. I've also retweeted it. So if everyone in the room can go to either the Nomad Boulevard handle to look at the recent retweet, or if you can see the pinned tweet, I know people are having trouble seeing that tonight. Grondin, I'd love you to tell us a little bit about the pictures you've taken, where you took these photos. Tell us a little bit about your work.
Yeah, for sure. But first, I just want to start with this crazy this crazy story. When I won Wes's piece, right after I was about to drop a collab with 3Minx, and that piece sold out instantly when we dropped it. And I did DM Wes about it, that everything fell into place after I won his giveaway. So we sold out our collab super quick. And then by coincidence, I received the 2 pieces I did for Deck of Degeneracy, the derivative piece. They sent me the mint, and Jonathan was like, do whatever you want with it. These are 2 pieces. You can keep them, you can sell them. So I was like, okay, I'll just try and tweet. I'll give them away to whoever purchases a piece in my collection. And as soon as I tweeted that out, I sold 5 pieces. So that was just
Unreal.
insane. Yeah, unreal. And I didn't know how to deal with not being able to give away some pieces to others. So I quickly I remembered you, Danny, on the Nomad Mint day. There was some small issues, and you tweeted simple, just, we got you. Don't worry, we got you. So I sent out a message to the other collectors saying, hey, no worries, I'm kind of screwed here, but I got you. So I did another derivative piece, gave it to those guys, and the feedback was amazing. So I decided to drop a piece, and it sold immediately. And then another piece sold, and it just didn't stop. So this is where I'm at now. What I've tweeted and what you pinned is the last 3 pieces of my collection.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And like I said, Wes, this picture, I'm keeping it forever. I mean, it has to be something. Something has to do. Yeah.
I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, that one is, I don't know. Even just looking at the PFP, I'm like, I'm so proud that I did that. It's kind of like, I didn't plan it. I'm just glad it came out that great, and I'm very proud to have made it, and I'm proud of it, and I'm very grateful that you like it as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and so the last 3 images I have are the ones I can't even remember the pin tweet.
So you can't remember it, as in you can't remember which photos are on there?
Yeah. Let me check.
So it's the one. It looks like it's either a lake or a like a small lake. Then there's also a person standing in the middle of the road, and it looks like it's there's snow on the road. And it's cool because the background is all completely black, except you've got like the light from, the street lights and the house lights on. And then there's also this picture where you've like captured a triangle in between, I think, 3 different sides of a building.
Hey, Danny, you got to come chill in all the spaces with me. You've described it so well.
All right, well, let me keep going. So this one where it's a triangle, the reason why I like this one so much is because at first glance, it kind of looks like a play button, like it's a video. And then you click on it and you expand it and you realize it's not. That's the sky. And it's just really, really cool. Just a really cool photo. Grondin, who's the person standing in the middle of the road?
That's my son.
How old is your son?
He's now 12. He was 11, I think, when I took that picture. And by the way, he's the one that introduced me to NFTs, coming in from school one day.
How did that happen? Tell us kind of how that came up.
Oh, he just came in from school and he told me that I had to sell my photos as NFTs. And I was like, what the hell is an NFT? he's like, well, let's look it up. I've heard about it in school. Apparently you can sell some stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then we went on, and here we are now.
That's the best. That's the best story. I love that so much. That's awesome. It's very sweet.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Kids are awesome.
Not all kids.
They're like smarter than us.
They are.
Yeah, no, Wes, I agree. I'm like terrified of children, so I like hearing stories like this where I'm like, oh, nice.
A nice kid. Even like my own like nephews. I'm like, oh, some of you like may or may not end up in prison because you're a little son of a bitch, but some of you are like angels that the earth is better off with you alive, you know.
Like my
kids. Go ahead, Danny.
No, I was just gonna say like my kids / putting them
your
to bed.
Kids are angels. Your kids are angels, dude. There's no other way to see it. I've met them a few times. They're angels.
I gave you a little red heart for that one, Wes.
Nice, dude. That's like the red heart like hits. It's the true red, you know?
Yeah, like I feel like the purple heart is very like, there's no other button to press, you know?
Well, it's like friendship, like, yay for you. It's like saying like, oh, I love that for you. You know, people that say that, like, oh man, that's like some passive aggressive shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't even throw me like a off-colored.
The purple heart is the equivalent of being unmuted and clicking on the laughing emoji, but not laughing. You know, I'm just not feeling the purple heart, but the red heart really cuts. That's like, you don't care, sees it, you don't care, you just want, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And also, once again, like, is anyone like, thank God they put the peace sign in there? Like, get the fuck out of here. What happened to the fist, man?
I missed the 100, man.
All
and
of
the
it.
100, dude.
It's all wrong. I mean, they might as well have. They should have just gone straight to like kissy face or heart eyes, because the peace sign has no meaning. It's like
it's ridiculous. It's like right before you leave the room.
You know when someone like cuts you off in traffic and you're like, I don't have road rage. I'm just gonna like peace sign them back and like passive aggressively deal with this situation. Peace sign, peace sign. That's what it is. It's like, what is this fake reaction?
That's true. That's pretty good. Like if you throw that to someone, it's kind of being like, yeah, I love that for you, and then you like, it's like, damn, they just fucked you up a little bit, you know.
And then there's that. Yeah. All right. So, so a couple of things too I want to cover. It's 9:40. I want to go to Broken Mechanic, but before I do, I just want to remind everyone that 3Min X is giving away one of her pieces. The only problem is that we haven't really been able to pin her tweet for everyone to see, which is super annoying. So, whoa, weird.
Yeah, the pins won't. Like, I can't even pin it to the room. It doesn't know that I'm in the room or something. I don't know what it is. Some glitch.
So, 3Min X, if you're cool with this, I'd like to do that giveaway next week. Hopefully, Twitter will get their shit together and we'll be able to see it. But I just don't want to do this giveaway without maximum exposure and without everyone being able to weigh in on this. And so, if that's cool with you, do you want to wait a week?
Sure, why not?
All right, let's wait 1 week, and then we'll also promote it more this week as well. I'll tell Brandy tomorrow. Hopefully she's feeling better. I really appreciate you doing that. If we can't pin it up here, I don't want to do it. So for everyone who's in the room, whoa, I'm seeing a lot of purple hearts. Eric rebelling. I don't know if that's a passive-aggressive purple heart now, or if that's just your heart of choice. Now I'm in my head about it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't know what to do. Oh my God, Anastasia just said a purple heart. Now I'm freaking out. Did I offend people?
Punk just said a blue heart.
Oh my God, Alex, purple heart. What's that?
Punk just sent a blue heart.
Oh my God.
Or is that not an option? I don't even know.
No, blue heart is cool.
That's an option.
Blue heart is cool.
Yeah.
Blue heart goes by skin color, so yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Blue heart.
A lot of work in a blue heart.
Yeah. All right, so Broken Mechanic. it's time
Yeah.
for us to kind of have a conversation about the nomad content you've been creating from around the world. Where in the world are you right now, by the way?
Okay, so I'm in Texas. I don't know if most of y'all know that I was just overseas in Iraq.
Yep.
And I just got back about, I think, last week sometime.
And you want to share with everyone, why you're in Iraq?
I was doing work for the military.
And how long were you there?
I did 4 months. It's just like I do like a 6 month out of the year kind of gig kind of thing.
And how long are you going to be back before you head back overseas?
Till like mid-July.
So, sometimes when I've traveled overseas and I've gone on a backpacking trip, or I've, gone on a 10-day work trip to London for a conference or something, and I come back and I'm like, oh, the jet lag and the reverse culture shock. And, there's so much ice in my water here. I'm used to, I can't imagine what like, does it take you a week to get back into the swing of things?
No, I would say probably like 12 hours, if that. Yeah, I usually just drink my way all the way back, and then I fall asleep one good like long time, and then I'm good to go.
So what inspired, so for those of you who don't know, Broken Mechanic has been creating these
Yeah, I'm not an artist, by the way. I'm very I'm creative, I guess, but I'm not like an artist creative.
I
So
would not call you not an artist. That's
I
all I'm gonna
just
say.
I just enjoy making like funny things that bring attention to our community, which I really like, and I enjoyed listening to our spaces and just being involved. So,
Well, I love each and every one. Obviously I see them all. It's awesome. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, follow Broken Mechanic. He's been posting nomads in just all kind of random situations. It's definitely something I look forward to. So
Yeah, and I think I definitely try to repost every single one. I think the Nomad account posts every single one. They're so like, it's just like a nice like daily giggle. It's great.
yeah,
It's
I had a lot more time when I was in Iraq. I don't have as much time here. I mean, I do because I don't really have a job right now, but I just haven't been in the same routine.
Well, we're expecting a daily giggle, okay?
And yeah, for sure. I'll definitely get on it.
No, it's like insane how many pieces you've thrown out. It's like hard to keep up with them, and it's like, yeah, seriously, they're so funny. Like every single one is like super unique, and like it's almost like a Where's Waldo type thing. They're really awesome. So thank you so much for doing those. They're really fun.
Of course, it's actually pretty fun, and I always laugh at my own artwork.
Yeah, I definitely consider that being an artist, like I know you said you don't think of yourself as an artist, but I think what you're creating is art because it's having an emotional effect on people. So
that's all that matters.
Yep.
Hell yeah, well said. So Broken, hang out with us until I think we're gonna still do another 15 minutes. So definitely, always welcome on stage with us.
For sure. Too bad I don't have any crap stories. Shit stories.
No shitting your pants.
No.
Elaborate stories of shitting your pants.
No.
I did have a friend today suggest making moon turds.
Moon turds.
Moon turds.
I don't know if anyone wants to run with that idea. Sounds like moonbirds. You might make a lot of ETH and just throwing out free ideas here.
Literally, it could be it could work. Literally, I've seen lots of stuff work that was not. Yeah.
My buddy suggested it in Tucson. He has a whole collection on NFT garbage, and I think he's sold out right now. Like he's just killing it with his sales. It's incredible.
Unreal. Hey, real quick, I just I always like check who's in the audience, and I was checking out this one listener, hashtag NFT JPN, and I noticed that they have 7,191 followers and following 0. And I would love, if you're listening right now and you want to come up on stage, I would love to ask you about that and get to know you. So feel free to come up here. And I also wanted to go to, oh, and I see JR is here. What's up, JR? And also Anastasia, I saw you post something about possibly doing a clown, Isabelle derivative, or some sort of collaboration. So would love to talk to you about that. Marlon, Jess, Manu, and James, you haven't come up on stage for months. So if you're around next Tuesday, would love to get you up here. Just what's up to everyone. Davey, have you had a chance to think of another story from life on the road?
Yeah, I got a couple. I think I want to tell the Jerry Cantrell Atlanta story.
Yes.
You want that now?
Absolutely.
All right, it'd be a nice little filler to cleanse our palates from the shit stories. But yeah, we were on tour one summer with Alice in Chains, and that's like been one of my favorite bands, and one of my favorite guitar players is the guitar player Jerry Cantrell. So I was like really stoked to be on the road with them, and was kind of self-conscious about like, how are we gonna like bro out? Are we even gonna hang on this tour, or are they gonna just be like, who's this guy? Though we were headlining, which was kind of a trip because like I'm headlining above one of my favorite bands growing up, playing in one of my favorite bands growing up. So yeah, we're at the venue, and I think it was Atlanta was the venue, and he comes up to me out of nowhere. Like we'd barely talked because the first day of tour I had food poisoning. Speaking of shitting your pants, like we got to Texas to rehearse, and the breakfast tacos I ordered at my hotel like gave me straight up food poisoning. So it's like 120 degrees out, and I'm dying. But the next day, everything kind of cleared up, and so I started seeing more of them walking around. I was in better spirits, and Jerry rolls up and goes, "Hey man, what are you doing tomorrow for the day off?" And I was like, "I don't know. I was just gonna kind of take it easy at the hotel, maybe work out." And he's like, "I know a club that has really good steak." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I'm down." So the next day, I don't hear from him at all. I figure I'm not going to bug him, like I'm not going to text him or anything. If he wants to hang, that's cool. And so I'm at the gym in the hotel, and then I get a text from Jerry Cantrell, and he's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Just working out." He's like, "Cool. I'm going to send a driver to pick you up. Like we're going to go to that club." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I'm like the 16-year-old me is like, "Dude, this is crazy." So I go down to the lobby, and I'm waiting for Jerry to get there because they were staying at a hotel across the street, and he picks me up, and we go, and we get to this club, and it's called Cheetahs. And I'm like, oh, I was like, that's kind of suspect. Like, it's probably not a regular club. We get inside, and there's a woman just waiting to greet us. And I quickly realized we're in a strip club. And I'm like, all right. Like, and if you knew me growing up, like I dated a few girls that were dancers, but just going to strip clubs in general, I was never a fan of. I was just like, always felt super awkward there. I grew up with like all sisters. So it was just like a different experience for me. But like, we get in there, and there's a nice table set up in the back corner for us, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. So we get to the table, and we're sitting there, and they give us food menus, and I'm like, okay, I've never eaten a meal at a strip club, or just had somebody tell me that you can get a good steak at a strip club. Like that's wild. So I order a steak and like a Caesar salad, and I'm like, let's gamble. Like I'll take a chance on this. Honestly, it was one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life, and one of the best like Caesar salads. It was absolutely incredible. I was blown away, and it was like this well kept like tour secret that like only a legend like Jerry Cantrell would know about or have in his sleeve. So now I have like a pretty good contact over there if I'm ever in Atlanta and want to get a good steak. And I met a few of the girls that were working that night, and we're like still friends to this day. Even had them out at the concert the next time I was there. So it all like ended up being pretty rad, but like what a random, amazing experience, having steak at a strip club with your guitar hero.
That's amazing, man.
So I'm actually at a strip club right now.
Come on.
And I'm just curious if it's the same, it's the same one.
Dude, if Beth's working, then you're definitely at Cheetahs.
Yeah, wow. That's a small world. That's That is small world. That is crazy,
Atlanta,
man.
man.
Get the
Atlanta's like a
tri-tip.
different. Get the tri-tip.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
Atlanta. I am too. I'm like
I really
like
want I really want I eat meat, but like right now I really want that Caesar salad. That sounds amazing.
You know, the salad hits different when someone's trying to hustle you for a dance the entire
Yeah,
time.
you're like, I'm busy. I'm eating crunchy romaines. Can you please back off?
That was the vibe.
Yeah.
It works
that's
though. It's like the
crazy.
hard to get Caesar salad guy.
Like I feel like that's a meal where you gotta kind of like, as soon as it gets put in front of you, you gotta hurry up and get it down. Like you can't just like sit there with a salad or steak in front of you and like talk. You gotta like, get down to it and finish it quickly.
Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. It's like there's some like 90s R&B going on. You don't know what to look at. Like, do you look at your plate? Do you look at the stage? Like everything was just sensory overload.
That's amazing. Atlanta, man. I feel like their strip club scene is different down there. I feel like if I could have guessed where it was, I mean, obviously my first guess would be like some crazy place in Vegas, but Atlanta's a solid guess because I feel like that's more like the clubs kind of merge with strip clubs down there. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. It's a little bit higher end. It feels a little bit more classy. Like if you go to like a strip club in like LA, you know, you're most likely sitting right next to like a couple like, you know, 18th Street gang members or something, and you know anything could pop off at any moment, chairs getting thrown. But like in Atlanta, it just felt like, you know, business as usual. I'm sure there's a couple guys in there in suits. It felt pretty high end, honestly, and I think that explains the quality of the steak as well.
Dope.
Yeah, you don't want the sketchy strip club steak at all. That's no good. No
Yeah,
good.
you know what else is ironic is like that that club was nice, but the Whole Foods that I found was like super ghetto. Like they had like armed security, and like I think like right before I had walked up to go shopping there, they like just cleaned up like a crime scene incident or something in the front. So
Jesus.
it was like just two different worlds.
That's so you want safety. You go get a steak at Cheetah's.
Yeah, I think I think that's the move, honestly.
That's amazing.
Yo, Wes, where are you from originally? Are you from the West Coast?
I'm from Chicago, so I'm from like the suburbs of Chicago, and then moved down to the city, and I lived in like downtown and like Gold Coast, Old Town for like 15 years, and then I just moved to Denver uh, in like August last year. So I've been in Denver here for I don't know how long is that? Fucking 5, 6 months or something, and yeah, man, it was 80 and sunny today. And for someone that's from Chicago, you think like, oh yeah, Colorado, like Denver, it's just gonna be like it's like a snowy like Vail, Aspen. Like, nah, it is a desert that's 1 mile up, and it is fucking sunny every day. I know it. Look, California's weather is bananas. Like whenever I go see Hero, I'm always like, man, this is fucking nice. But compared to Chicago, this is fucking paradise.
Yeah, every time I've been to Chicago, the weather's like all over the place. It'll either be like scorching hot or super humid, raining. Like it's kind of sporadic.
It's
Yeah,
it.
when I went to Chicago for the first time, flew in, was so excited for the weekend to see all my friends I hadn't seen in a while. I get my bags at baggage claim, and then they're waiting for me. I can see my friends in the Nissan Pathfinder outside waiting to pick me up, and the first of the two double doors opens, and I'm like, "Ooh, chilly." And then the second double doors open, and it was like someone like punching me in the throat, and I was like, like I remember being like, it was like instant misery, and it pretty much stayed that way for like 48 hours. I even didn't stay the final day of the trip. I just like at 2 a.m. that Saturday night, I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just do standby, the red eye or the first flight out. I need to get out of here. Now, granted, I was kind of dramatic and it was really cold, but
I mean,
yeah.
I remember it was like a blizzard. It was, and I was excited because I'm like, oh, Danny's coming to Chicago and to show him like a great time. I don't even remember how many times you've been there. Was that the one and only time?
No, I think I was there. I think I had gone like 1 or 2 other times. That was like my first, like just going to Chicago specifically to go hang out in Chicago. And I think I've
Gotcha.
only been back. I think I've only been back like one time.
I mean, dude, I get it. Like, in my opinion, so Chicago in the summer is tough to beat. Like, beyond the like scorching days, it's so dope. The city is so cool to just walk around, get lost, and the food is fucking great. And if you like drinking and sports, like that's what they've got. But once you're like, when I was out in Chicago, I was like, I'm not going to drink anymore at the beginning of COVID. It was like, you're like on the clock. Like, you got to get the fuck out of there because it's not, I would not consider Chicago a healthy city by any means. It was like, I need to leave this place. And I remember when you came there, it was a blizzard. And then we went to like a party that night that like, it was at like Chris and Doe and all those dudes where they lived. And it got way out of hand and it got like violent. And it was like, one of those, it just like went off the rails. And there was this like crazy ass dude that we knew from college that was like basically like the Incredible Hulk. He was so enormous that it was like it was like trying to tame like an elephant because if he would like it was like, and he wasn't there, he wasn't driving the bus, and then so he would get like locked onto like must get through door, and it was like, oh, smash, and he would just get like, and it was a dangerous situation. It was actually not very fun. Luckily, I was like out of my mind and a wild guy at the time, but I get, Danny, why that you were like, fuck this, I'm leaving early. Like I would have done the same thing.
And I did, and we said goodbye, and here we are.
Honestly, like for the credit of Chicago, like some of the funnest times in my early 20s were in Chicago on tour. Like the wildest experiences, everything was just like super random. Like we'd get invited to some like hardcore show after our show, and it was like on some abandoned building in the middle of nowhere in the pouring rain, like total electrical hazards everywhere. But it was just like the coolest, ambience and experience. And then like, not having privacy because we're touring in a abandoned trailer and I wanted to stay with a girl. And this guy comes up like, and we get to know him for the rest of the night. He's like, hey man, you can just take my place for the night. And like totally just gives me his room with this girl, just stranger. Turn around and find out it's like the singer of this band called Kill Hannah that was like pretty rad. And then flash forward, I'm getting a DM from that guy and he runs Cameo and he's like asking me to join that. And like all these little like intertwining things. And like Chicago just has like a magic in the air. Like even though the weather's crazy, like at night when it's like humid and hot, there's just like this cool like magic electricity,
So Davey,
It's
check
true,
this.
man.
I was at Soho House like probably about 6 months ago, and I'm there working, and there's this guy sitting across from me, and he looked familiar, and we started talking, and it was the lead singer from Kill Hannah.
That's him. Yeah. We actually, me and Yumi ran into him in LA at one of the NFT parties, and he was rolling around there. Super cool guy.
He works for Cameo, right?
Yeah, I think he's like one of the founders of it. That's at least what I understand.
Or at least he's like he's very senior at Cameo. But yeah, that's so crazy because
Yes.
I grew up in Orange County, so going to shows in Orange County like that, Kill Hannah was definitely one of the bands.
Dude, were you going to Chain Reaction back then?
Are you kidding me? I was at Chain Reaction like once a week for like 3 years.
Yeah, I used to take the car like when nobody knew from Burbank and ride out to Chain Reaction to catch like To Die For shows, and they would sponsor all those like The Mistake and 18 Visions and Atreyu, all those guys. Now I'm making like songs with those guys and stuff. It's really crazy, man, how everything just comes full circle.
That is so crazy. I mean, Chain Reaction is like I still remember the design of the chain reaction flyers. You remember that
Oh
with like
yeah,
the little
totally.
like the atomic, like the atom logo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of like the Scratch magazine zines, like that and the chain reaction flyers were like the gold standard of like how you make your show flyers.
100%. Who else did you see there?
Oh man, I have to think about it. So I uh, I think the last show I went there was like the final Poison the Well show in the
Okay.
West Coast. And then after that, I played it a couple times. I was playing guitar for a band called Winds of Plague, just like deathcore, Inland Empire guys, and we did a show there, and it was packed, man. They oversold it, so it was like the coolest thing ever. Like everybody was, bouncing off the walls, trying to get on stage, and just like do the sing-alongs and chants, but they're just knocking our mics into our faces and putting my guitar out of tune. But I think there's like a whole set on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, I love that venue. That's crazy, man. Where in Orange County?
So I grew up in Irvine.
Oh, okay. I love Irvine. I go to the Spectrum all the time. Like I take myself on little solo dates to go get food and like be normal.
Yeah, the Spectrum when I was growing up was like an L shape. Like it was the movie theater, it was like a couple of restaurants, and then there was like one little area to walk around, and then the Improv. And now it's like a little village. Like it has its own zip code for real. It has its own zip code.
Yeah, it's insane. And like the Javier's restaurant, they redid the whole outside, so now it's like this whole like club scene. There'll be like people wrapped around the side like to wait to get in. So it's like a whole other vibe now. But it used to be so much more mellow. It still kind of is, but like it's definitely expanded.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome, bringing me back to the Orange County days. I remember playing like some of the music that I used to listen to growing up to West when I came to college, and um, it was a stark contrast from what he was listening to.
What were the favorites? Like what were your top three?
Oh man,
Dude, every time I like coined it, I even told my girl, I'm like, oh, this is totally some fucking Danny Rosenberg music, and it like that. This is the type of music that Hero List do. It was like, and I'm gonna hold your head, and my girl, like it was like that, like it was like these like guy. They were always talking about how their girlfriend, and they were all like sad, and it was like, oh, my girl left me, and it was like. And I was like, man, this is fucking racket, dude. I just could not. And it was like coming from, I don't know, Chicago is very like hip hop is the name of the game, which I'm so proud of. And like, just from that fucking world, it was so different for me to hear like this, like, I don't know. What would you call that? Like,
well, like first of all, like let's not forget that like I mean I love hip hop. I love Tupac and Biggie and so
Same.
many like so let's like just be real about like LA is not just but I played the drums, in a band in high school and I couldn't really play that music. So the music that I could play was like so so Davey, like Melancholy
Oh yeah.
and I'm trying to think, I liked
Anti-Flag and
yep.
Rise Again.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean hundreds. I mean there were so many different bands. David, do you remember a band called Mind Driver?
yeah, I do.
Did you know any of them?
It sounds so familiar. I want to say I did know one of them. I think didn't one of them work at like Backside Records, like at that little record store?
I don't know about Backside, but do you remember Level 1 Promotions?
I it's like all like kind of vaguely there, but
I know.
no.
Well, anyway,
Not,
I'm sure the rest of the room is insanely interested in the little nuances of the bands from Orange County 25 years ago or however
I'm
long
looking up
ago.
Mind Driver right now, and I'm
So yeah,
looking at pictures. I'll tell you.
the drummer Mikey was a friend. Just wondering if you knew him. But yeah, I mean, look, I used to go to the Warped Tour, and I saw Blink 182 a bunch of times, and
Yeah.
you know, some of that stuff. I'm trying to think some of the other bands, but it was so funny. I remember playing some of the music for Wes when I first met him, and he was like just so uncomfortable in his own skin. Actually, that's probably the most uncomfortable you've ever been, Wes. Not shitting yourself in grease, but listening to the music that I listened to in high school.
I mean, it's not uncomfortable. It's just me going, like after like 2 seconds, like it was like, so it's like I have a cousin that's in, we have like a lake house, like a family lake house in northern Indiana, and all these fucking guys want to listen to is country music, and it's like that's worse. Okay, first off, but it's like what happens is as soon someone hits play, and I'm just like my face is just like get the fuck out of here, man. Like it's not like a embarrassed. It's just like, dude, please turn that off. Where it's just like I don't know what it is. I'm like sensitive to like noises and like the music I listen to all day is just like these like lo-fi beats. So there's no lyrics. It's just like slow, like low tempo beats. That's it. I don't know what it is, but I like just having it on at all times. And when I hear something that's like the opposite, it's like very, very fast paced, like lyrics in your face. Like it doesn't work. I don't know what the emotional reaction is, but it's just like, fuck, we're doing this now. Like that's, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like a mental commitment. There's so much going on. I used to listen to like grindcore and like crazy like thrash metal. Now all I listen to is like hip hop and EDM and like synthwave. But when I'm like at the gym, I'll put on, you know, Meshuggah or some of the heavier stuff. But like if I try to do that on my regular, just every day or while I'm driving, it just wrecks me. It like puts me in like a bad state of mind, and I just get a ton of anxiety from it. But it sounds like you were listening to like pop punk back then. Like
yeah, I mean that was kind of the music like my band played, and so you know like there were bands like, you know, Melee and Rudiger that were like more like the music we were playing, but it wasn't exactly that was probably most of it.
Yeah.
Fucking pop punk, dude. There you go. I always didn't know like the name that fits.
Yeah, that's
pop
it.
Punk.
I was in a pop punk band in 9th grade called Villain Wins, and we did a cover of the Seventh Heaven theme song. That's actually like kind of the start to my whole like venture into music. Was a guy that like let me borrow his amp and to play a concert because I just had some little crap amp, and then he ended up being like the head luthier at Schecter Guitars, and then introducing me to Jen from L7, who took me on like my first real tours. So that whole thing was like all because of my pop punk band.
There you
That's
go.
amazing, dude.
Did you?
I feel like Davey, you're like, and then I met this one guy who ended up being like, I feel like you've got a crazy life when it comes to like who you know and how you've met them throughout what you've seen. I feel like.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man. Like there's been so many different paths and like ways that things have happened that sometimes like a thing will come up in a conversation and then a memory will develop in my head that I totally lost or forgot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like my life's kind of crazy, you know? But, I mean, I wish I could just be the type of person to remember everything in vivid detail, and then I could like release a book, you know?
Dude, that's not a bad idea. And I was just, my question, I never asked this to you, or I don't know the answer was, so you played in Korn and like, because I remember Korn very well, like the, like I remember
Blind.
like, yeah, like I remember that album, and like that's when they were like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy the biggest motherfucking jeans you've ever seen. Like there was like a stint in my life where I was like, I'm gonna buy some fucking Jinkos. Cut it. It was like Jinkos and like kickwear was like even bigger. Where if you see like photos, which I don't know how many exist, like you look like you're wearing like a denim dress, but it was like Korn was like the shit. It was like Korn, like Rage Against the Machine was like my shit too. But I very much. So were you in the band then, or associated with them then?
No, I mean, I was a kid then. Like, I would sneak into my sister's room, and she had the Columbia House CD deal where they send you like 3 CDs a month or whatever.
I had that. BMG, right?
Yeah, it was the ultimate. Like, so she had like everything. She'd have like MXPX, and then I'd have like Deftones and Korn and Pantera. And so I just would go in there and I'd sit down and just like put on headphones and listen through these whole CDs while she was away at college, and just take it in my own mind how it was with like no reference. And Korn was like one of my favorites because they used like the 808s, and I was really into like the Snoop Dogg Doggy Style album and a lot of the like West Coast hip hop. Um, so I was just a kid in like ninth grade. Follow the Leader was like my favorite album. I'd like sit in the hallways with this girl and we just like make out and listen to this like Korn CD during lunch. And so the idea that I'd actually end up like on stage playing these songs was just like a trip, dude. Like I literally, my first plane ride to go on tour in Europe with them, I like had this like moment where I just felt like I was gonna like faint because like all of the reality of everything that was going on was like coming in on me and around me. I was like, I'm about to be on stage in front of like 200,000 people with like 25-year veterans. Like if I screw anything up, I'm gonna look like the biggest idiot ever, So it's just been this really like surreal kind of thing. I'm only in my 30s. Like those guys, I believe, are starting to hit their 50s. So yeah, I was like,
Oh wow.
yeah, I was always like the kid, like involved in that, but they were so good to me because of that. They're like, whatever you do, like we trust you. And any mistakes I ever made on stage, they never gave me a hard time. I heard about one thing once and that was the end of it. And, so it was
Damn,
always like a
dude.
really good presidents, coolest guys in the business for sure.
That is amazing, dude. So you've seen a lot of shit. That's like, I don't know, that like legitimate rock star like lifestyle. You fucking lived some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was never, to me, like it was never the goal to do that. It was just cool that it would happen sometimes, but it was always just like, I'm not cut out to be in an office. I'm not cut out for 9 to 5. Like, I used to like try to fight my math teacher when I was in like eighth grade and like walk out and then walk home. I don't do well in a structure like that. And so it was always about like, okay, how do I just stay involved and also put food on the table, like doing stuff I love. So like that translated to music, and then, now it's art and like NFTs. So, it's always just been about like enjoying surviving, not having to do something that you don't necessarily want to do or you're not passionate about and getting stuck in that loop. So yeah, like the rock star stuff was cool, but I never had a moment where I was like, oh dude, I'm the shit. Like, I'm up on this, like these huge stages. I was just like, dude, I'm so lucky. Like, I hope I don't lose this, or, how long do I get this for? So it was never like, there's no ego. Like, I think that's ego's foolish and you miss a lot.
And
That's
so this was
amazing,
for like a tour that you did with them. And then if they go on tour again, will they call you up? Like, are you first on their list?
Well, so I did like 5 years of tours with them, but
5 years of tours.
yeah,
5 years.
yeah, I was with them for a while, and then because of COVID, they downsized like everything. So like crew, live, like everything I do on keyboards, they can put on tracks, So that's like the safest way to like minimize things and not have to deal with all the regulations. So as long as everything smooths out, like it'll probably work out to going back to doing that, if that's the place I want to go. But we talk like every day still, and we're just really close. Like even without the band involvement, like we were kind of like family in a sense. Myself and the guitar player and Jonathan.
And do they know about the work that you're doing in the NFT space? Do they know about
Yeah,
Boneheads?
yeah. So I got a text like a week ago that I was really stoked about, because so Jonathan Davis, the singer of Korn, he's like really particular. He likes what he likes, and then when he does like it, he gets really fired up about it. And he texted me and he's like, Davey, how do I get one of these Boneheads? These are sick. And I was just like, I will add you to the pre-sale list. I was like, I'll let you know. And he has some of my original stuff that I did on canvas, because we had a lot of downtime on tour. And so we were just taking these little canvases, and like our tour manager legit would set up a art room for us. And so it would be like me, Fieldy, our buddy Q, who's like a hip hop artist from New York that always rolled with us. And we would just do art all day in these like little arenas, because it was winter tour and there was like, you couldn't do anything outside. It was just too cold. So we're sitting down there, and that's where like I kind of grabbed onto this I don't know, like the way that I've been doing these like boneheads and stuff, I kind of really grabbed onto it there working with these little canvas pieces. So I'm just, every show I got like a new piece finished. I'm just handing them out to people. We had like Chino from Deftones there with his daughters. I'm like, oh, let me give his daughters like some art, you know? So it was just like cool little opportunities like that. And then they remembered that, and now they're seeing the bonehead posts and asking me about it. So hopefully those dudes will pick them up and own some as well and hold on to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Well, Davey, it worked out. You are definitely an official Nomad storyteller. We fully expect, this to continue. And yeah, it was great hanging out with everyone again this week. It was great getting to hear about some of the artwork that the community is working on. Go check out Jesse Doyle, Punk, Grondin, 3Min X. Check out some of the stuff that Broken Mechanic is doing. And James, Swarnal, there are people in the audience that we'd love to get up here next week as well. So hit us up. Have a great night, everyone. Yeah, this is really fun. It's great to hang out with everyone tonight.
Have a night.
Later, everybody.
Later, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Thank you.
Take care,
much.
everybody.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you, Nomad. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. And Grondin, too.